Hello family, I'm Mahesh Ravi. Welcome back to my channel Learn and Lead. Today our topic is the definite article, that is the. In my previous video, we all done with indefinite articles a and an, and today let's begin our video on the definite article. Here are some rules for the definite article. See, before a noun whose identity is clear. So for example, what is the time now? Or our classroom is on the second floor. In those cases, the noun, it's before a noun and that identity is very clear. In those cases, the must be used. Now, second rule. Before a noun which is unique. For example, the North Pole, the Titanic, the sun, the moon, they are unique. Before that, you have to keep the with an adjective to represent the whole class. So the blind, the rich, the poor, like that. So here it is an adjective and it is representing its whole class. In our previous video also there is an example that is where it is a noun and before that a or an must be used, or if it is an adjective, they must be used. Like if you remember the example, a dog is a faithful animal. There it is a noun and it is representing the whole class. This is a noun and it represents the whole class. There you have to use according to that, a or an. But here when it is before the adjective, you have to place the. I think I'm clear. Now the next rule. Before the names of some countries but not all countries. Here the USA, the UK, but it is not the India. Why? Because it's singular. Whereas here it is combined. That is the reason we use the USA, the UK. But if in the case of other countries, we shouldn't use anything. There you have to use the omission of article. For example, you can say I love India, but not I love the India or something. Okay, only before some country names you have to use the. For example, the Andaman Islands, like that. Okay, because it's a group. Now, before the names of canals, rivers, seas and oceans. For example, the Suez Canal, the Ganges, the Yamuna, or the Indian Ocean, the Red Sea, like that. Okay, before any seas names, oceans name, you have to use the article. Okay, now before the names of holy books like the Gita, the Bible, the Quran, the Ramayana, like that. Now, before the names of inventions, we have to use the article the, like the radio, the television, the telephone, the computers, like that. Now, before the superlative degree, you know degrees of comparison, positive degree, comparative degree and superlative degree. There even you have to use the longest, the youngest, the most beautiful, like that. So, before the superlative adjectives, you have to use the. Coming to the next rule, before the musical instruments like the veena, the tabla, the guitar, the violin, like that. And then, with the words like the top, the middle, the first, the next, the center and the end. Like that, you have to use the. For example, the must be used when it is particular. Only in the remaining cases then comes a or an. This is a book. I told you in my previous video. This is just one book. But when it is the particularity, you have to use the. This is the book I'm speaking about. Or she is the girl I'm talking about. Like that. Okay, when it is particularity, you should use the. Many people are not clear with the topic omission of articles. I would like to give you a very clear picture comparing the omission of articles and when to use the. Please follow. Omission of articles. Here are the rules for omission of articles. Before going further into the topic, you have to get a clarity regarding types of nouns. There are basically 5 types of nouns. What are they? Proper noun, common noun, material noun, abstract noun and collective noun. Okay, these 5 are important. Now, basically in the omission of articles, what happens? Mostly we use all these types of nouns because before material noun, there should be omission of article. Okay, and before common noun, when it is used in the widest sense, there is omission of article. So, mostly we have to know what are the types of nouns first and then we have to dive deep into the subject. So, what is a common noun? Common noun refers to class of things. For example, a boy, a girl, a man, a tree. It refers a class of things. That is nothing but a common noun. Whereas a proper noun is something in particular. The name of a place or a person or a thing is a proper noun. So before proper nouns in general, we use this omission of articles. And then, what is a material noun? All the names of the materials come under the material noun. Okay, in that case, for example, gold, cotton, silver, iron, all these are materials. So those are material nouns. And then, what is an abstract noun? Abstract noun is nothing but where you can only feel it but you can never see or touch. Only you can feel them. For example, anger, love, ego. Okay, only you can feel them but you can honesty, wisdom. All these only you can feel them but you cannot see or touch it. So before an abstract noun also, there is an omission of article. For examples, here let us dive deep into the subject and then you will get a clarity. So here, let us see the first rule. Before a common noun used in its widest sense. Here, man is a common noun. Man is mortal. Here it's used in its widest sense. Yes? So when a common noun used in its widest sense, before that there is omission of article. Now, before the names of materials, such as that is nothing but before material nouns. Like, for example, gold is a precious metal, or cotton grows in India and America. In those cases, these are material nouns. Yes? So before that, there should be omission of article. And then, usually before proper nouns. For example, Delhi is the capital of India. Mumbai is a big city. In those cases, there should be omission of article. And one more particular thing is when the article is used before a proper noun, they become the common noun. Here is an example for you. He was the Napoleon of his age. Basically, Napoleon is a proper noun, but here by keeping the, we are making it to the common noun. So he was the Napoleon of his age. So here we are making the proper noun into the common noun. In that case, you have the. Don't get confused between these two. I hope it is clear. Now, the next rule. Before abstract nouns used in its general sense. I told you already, abstract noun is the one which you can only feel but you can never see. For example, wisdom is the gift of heaven. Or honesty, before an abstract noun used in a general sense. I told you what is an abstract noun which you can never see but only you can feel. Those nouns are abstract nouns. For example, wisdom is the gift of heaven. Honesty is the best policy. So you can never see honesty or you can never see wisdom, but only you can feel it. Or love is wonderful. Before love, there must be omission of article. Note it. If an abstract noun, when it is qualified by an adjective and then adjective phrase or clause may have the article. For example, it is very simple. The wisdom of Solomon is famous. For example, this is qualifying by an adjective. Yes, so here it is particularity and in that case you can use the. Now before languages, for example, I love English, I love French. In that case you shouldn't use any article because that is the case of omission of article. Before languages also there must be omission of articles. For example, I love English, I like to learn French. Okay, before that you shouldn't use any article. But here I would like to make one thing clear. For example, the French are fashionable. I want you to observe the difference between these two. I love French and the French are fashionable. Here we use the and here there is omission of article because it is representing its whole nation. Here it is representing its whole nation. In that case, the French are fashionable. So it is representing the whole race and nation. I think you understand. So before languages, if it is mere language, you should use nothing. But in this case, if it is representing the nation, the French are fashionable. In this case, you have to use the. Before school, college, church, bed, hospital, market, you shouldn't use any article. When it is in its primary purpose, that is the most important thing. For example, when you say, I go to school or I go to market. Okay, that is common. That is your primary purpose. But for example, the school is near to my home. My dad has to come to this school to meet the principal. because that is not primary purpose. There you did some mistake and your father has to meet the principal, sir. Okay, in that case it's not a primary purpose, and then you have to use the. But in general you shouldn't use the. Okay, before bed, market, school, college. Okay, I go to college, or I go to market, or I go to bed early. I hope it's clear. And before names, you shouldn't use any article. For example, father, mother, aunt, uncle, nephew, any relation, you shouldn't use any article. And then before certain phrases, like for example, to catch fire, to give ear, at home, in hand, by name, all these phrases you shouldn't use any article. By name and before ground, above ground, all these phrases you shouldn't use any article. These are the 8 rules for omission of articles. I hope you're very clear with it now. So I have given the rules for both indefinite article in my previous video, and in this video I explained the rules for definite article and omission of articles. I hope you got the clarity between the omission of articles and when to use the definite article, that is the. And also in my previous video I explained about the indefinite articles. If you have come directly to this video, please watch that and come to this video for better understanding and for good continuity. And I hope you like my videos. Please don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Thank you.